John, obviously a disappointing result. The winning streak snapped. What were your thoughts on your side's performance across the length of the 90 minutes?
Thought we were really good. Really good. I couldn't be prouder of the group. We've had a difficult couple of weeks, as everyone knows. We had 9 players that within our first team that were unable to select. A 3 players got out today and yesterday, so they weren't up for selection. And other than conceding off a set piece and then switching off straight after the set piece, I thought we were very good. We created a lot of chances. We pressed them well. Yeah, a couple of times they played through us, but a lot of the time we won the ball. We defended forward. We were brave in the way we played. Again, thought we deserved more out of the game, but I couldn't be prouder of the group because that, for me, defined us. Not the 4 wins in a row. Tonight defined us as a group, the character that we showed.
So just for our clarification, so 9 players unavailable, so you've got the 4 currently unavailable because they've tested positive, the 1 player that just got out of protocols but not fit for selection, and 4 players that were close contacts and couldn't train until they returned negative results. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, something like that. there's 9 players in total, put it that way. There was 4 or 5 that were close contacts. 1 not vaccinated. You can figure that one out. And then there was 3 or 4 that had contracted COVID.
So how much of that plays into just the 1 sub tonight?
It plays a lot into it.
Okay.
So it is, we've got young players, yes, on the bench, and we might have been able to make more subs, but we were actually pushing them. We were going at them. Dylan Paris was creating problems, causing problems out on that right side. Yes, we had to reshuffle again at the back as we did last week, but I thought our back 4 were very good. Josh Risdon played on the left tonight. He hasn't played there for a while, but he was sensational, and then you had Tamoki that was playing at right back, but I thought that he was great as well. So yeah, we had only 5 players on the bench, that's including the goalkeeper. So we were very short, but we decided to play because it wasn't a risk to the opposition, wasn't a risk anymore to our players, and we proved that we can match it when we haven't got a full squad.
You did say that you did create a lot of chances. Do you think a distinction has to be made between the quantity and quality of chances in the second half?
Do you mean that we didn't create in the first half, or what would you say?
Saying specifically in the second half with the game state how it was, Victory, you were dominating territory, but do you think it really, in terms of...
Yeah, I think we hit the post twice in the second half.
But, I understand that, but from...
So the thing that I look at it in a whole game of football, there's playing through oppositions like we did last week when we scored the goal from our goalkeeper playing out, and there's time that you're dominating territory, and then you get corner after corner after corner and put them under the pressure, and we created chances. We were very unlucky not to score off of more. Those opportunities we had. It's difficult when a team sits deep, but I thought they were getting into unbelievable areas. Even in the first half, when we had a couple of balls that went across the goal. We had, I don't know if it was a 3v1 or in the first half as well, and in the second half we had our chances. We had them on the back foot. I think everyone saw that.
I'm not disagreeing that there wasn't anything in territory and the fact that you are creating chances, but let's say now going on from that, do you think, on the whole, you think you can just create mistakes via pressure in that sense?
Yeah, look, on the whole, I think that we will create even more moving forward. We have to remember Alex has had a pretty disruptive pre-season / start of the season. That was Dylan Price's first start. And on the whole, we'll create even more clear-cut chances. But we're playing away from home against a team that it has been playing well and getting good results this season. So you're creating that many chances against a team that's very well organised. Pretty pleased.
Just going back to something you said before, John, about how you decided to go ahead with the game tonight, was there ever any thoughts at Western United about seeking a postponement in this game? We've seen City get a game postponed after a lot of cases made players unavailable. Did you investigate the possibility for that tonight?
Look, the club did speak to the APL. As long as it was safe, they asked me what I would like to do, and straight away I said play the game. Okay. Because I believe in the group, and we showed tonight that even with this group that we can play.
You've got another game on the 1st of January against Western Sydney Wanderers. Are you waiting any test results? Do you think at this stage you'll be okay to play that game, or are you waiting?
That I'm unsure of. Not so much from our group or from where we're at. A little bit from Western Sydney Wanderers and the whole situation in Sydney. That's more for the club and then the APL to discuss, because my understanding, Western Sydney Wanderers got quite a few players that are out because of it, and if it's a risk for us to keep on, moving forward because we're going to have more players, the risk is always going to be there, but we knew that it was a bit of more of a controlled risk today.
John, we saw Alessandro's Instagram story yesterday. Obviously, he was isolating. Was that the reason why he missed today?
Yeah. If you understood Italian, he said he had COVID.
Yeah. I just wanted to make that clear with you.
Yeah.
Lockie Wales filled in as a 10 today. I guess, how'd you see his performance?
Yeah, great. Really good. He caused problems all night. His forward runs, they're hard to deal with. They're hard to track. We were trying to do that. That was part of our plan. And we thought it worked really well. He was, when you shifted the opposition as we did, and then you had forward runs from Lockie, whether he gets it or the 9 gets it, something happens, and then all of a sudden they have to start to drop to close that space, and then your 6s get on the ball, and then then you can start to dominate and dictate the play a little bit more in their half. So I thought he was great. I actually think that Lockie performed well. He hasn't really played in that position, but we know he can.
Just you mentioned Dare before, obviously said he had COVID. How is he doing, like in terms of symptomatic or anything like that?
Yeah, no, he's doing well. He doesn't feel sick at all. He feels fine. He couldn't believe it that he had it. But, I suppose that the majority of our players, the ones that did get it and have it, that hadn't felt sick at all. It's just unfortunate. This is something that we have to deal with, and we're not looking for any excuses at all, because, even with the players we had out there, we still had that belief that we could get the result.
You mentioned, John, before that you've got one player who's unavailable because they're unvaccinated. Without asking you to go into names or anything like that, how frustrating for you is that as a coach, that you've got one player that you could really use right about now, but they're not vaccinated?
Yeah, look, it's there's something that we have to respect individuals, and we as an APL and as a league, we haven't put in place that it's that you have to get it done. It's not compulsory. So that's that there is something that the APL decided. Like in other codes, they have decided to make it compulsory. So I have to respect the individual. Of course, we would love him to be here because exactly what you said. You need your players. You want all your players available for selection. But at the moment we can't get him.
If it was up to you, would there be a mandate?
Yeah, I'll leave that one. Yeah.
Coming back to the specificities of possession with Diamanti out, there was a moment between Kilkenny and Tomoki Imai in the second half. What was that about, essentially?
I don't know. Were they arguing or were they?
It seemed to be a robust discussion in front of you.
Maybe Tomoki didn't understand him, and so Neil was trying to explain to him. I don't think it would have been anything bad. They're both winners. I thought they both played really well. They wanted to win the football game, and probably they were just talking about how they could, keep on trying to cause problems for Melbourne Victory. I don't think there was anything to it. Our group is very close and very strong, and I think that showed again.
The side has been really good defensively throughout the whole season, but leading up to the third goal, it seemed as though Rojas got past Kilkenny quite easily. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we probably should have fouled him a lot earlier. We were pushing Like, so we had all our defenders up in their box, and we left a bit of space, but that's normal. There's only 2 minutes to go. But if we want to be really critical, we should have fouled him in the because oppositions do it to us, we have to do it to them sometimes.
Alexander Prijovic back today, scored, got the monkey off the back in the league. I guess, how's he feeling? Is he ready to potentially build off that to maybe start next week, or is it just a bit of a touch and go situation?
Yeah, look, hopefully he keeps on building his fitness and his match rhythm, because we know what he can do. We know that he's that type of player that give him half a chance in the box and he can finish. I see it in training. It's just getting minutes into his legs, getting that rhythm into his legs, and getting his fitness base. So that's why when you asked me last week, you keep on saying we're going to improve. Well, we are. And when these players get to their level, we've still got Rene Crin to come in, so. Once we get everyone in, the competition for places, and they start to gel, we're in a good space, knowing that we're still going to improve a lot.
How far off do you think Rene is? I know you've been.
Yeah, look, he's. I don't know if you saw him here before. He's around, so he's feeling a lot better. So the personal issues that he's had, he's with us again, and we'll see how long it takes to get him to a fitness level, but. He's with us and feeling good, which is important.
Just on those guys that have got out of COVID protocols, I think the statement said one came back and trained today and the other two were meant to get out. How long do you think it's going to, are those players realistically in frame to play against Western Sydney?
It's a hard one. It is a hard one, because the 10 days in isolation that you can't do much. It's hard to even put a treadmill in some of their places. So, you can try and give them a program that they follow, and they do. But, they're not kicking balls. They're not, sprinting. They're not twisting, turning. So you have to be careful that you don't rip down. So, it's not only the today that you can't select them. It's also for the next game that you're touch and go. So that's the issue with the whole isolation for 10 days. That it's hard to see when they're going to be ready to play again.
And just because you mentioned they asked you about wanting to play. Is there a number, like a hard number, like 5 players out, 6 players out?
No, they haven't given us a hard number.
Yeah.
Not at all. So I'm not sure what they look at in terms of if there's that risk factor with both teams, and it really spreading fast. We're unlucky because we had 4 players that, or 4 or 5, that are close contacts. I don't think they'll have it. They've tested negative. I don't think they're going to get it, but we have to follow the ruling of the government. That's a government rule. That's not even an APL rule. That's a government rule. So that's where it's a little bit difficult. Then they have to isolate for 7 days, and they probably won't even have it. So it's a difficult one, but we know this is going to happen. We adapt and then we move forward, and then that's what the players did. Didn't not once think about we're not going to give everything tonight, and they did. They gave everything.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it. Take care.